You'll pay for that! Surrender! Well, hello there. It has been a very long time. I hope you're all doing marvellously. Hope you had a good Christmas and 2026 is looking good for you. Now, as you could see from the introduction, today is a bit of a special one. It's a historical one. And it's with this. The Snider Enfield MK3 artillery carbine. This particular one is an 1880 by C.G. Bonehill of Bonehill in Birmingham. I got this about 3 years ago, and so this video has been 3 years coming, and it has taken a very long time to get the rifle, get the ammo, get the reloading dies, and just get everything sorted out. So this has been a labour of love for a very long time. So who am I? What am I dressed as? I am dressed as a field constable of the New Zealand Armed Constabulary Force. Now, who are the AC? Basically, New Zealand in its early days, back in colonial days, was a frontier country. You had native chiefs and tribes that were warring with the British. You had outlaws, train robbers, highwaymen, rum runners, all kinds of people. And they needed someone to put down these rebellions and put down these people and bring law and order. For a long time it was the British regiments, the 56th and the 63rd, I think. They were in New Zealand for a long time, but by about the mid to late 1870s they were going home. So there's no more military in New Zealand. Well, they need people to police it. So they come up with something called the New Zealand Armed Constabulary. It's in the name, armed constables. We have police officers in a militia that put down revolts, revolutions and whatnot. They're also police officers, but for the most part they were just a locally raised militia. And they'd eventually diverted away from the militia side of things. That went to more the New Zealand Army, and the New Zealand Police, they went off on their own way. But in the 1870s, 1880s, you had the AC, and they were doing all kinds of stuff. Now, who were the AC? A lot of them were settlers who came here. They tried their hand at bushwork, they tried their hand at the jungle fighting, they got into it. The war's over, what do we do? Oh, become cops instead. It's what a lot of people do. They were hard men. They were heavy drinkers, whorers, fighters. They were renowned for being rough and ready. Disciplined, very well disciplined, but they would have mischief. Anyway, what am I kitted out with? Well, standard arm is the Mark III artillery carbine. This one's in quite nice condition. Single shot 5.77 breechloader. Your sidearm is the 18 something or other Yataghan bayonet. And this is what you would use to keep someone at distance, or you could poke them in the eye with a sharp stick. Your equipment consisted of a leather belt, a leather expense pouch, a leather cartridge box, and a wooden water canteen. The uniform, a blue pillbox style cap, a shirt of any description. This is the pattern 1880, I think it is, army shirt. And this is quite odd, a rupaki. What a rupaki is essentially a blanket. So what they found was when the men were crawling through the ditches and they're going through the swamp and the bush, their blue woolen trousers were getting wet and heavy and the men could not sleep at night. So what they did was they would just start wearing their blankets around their waists as kilts, and they would save their blue trousers for nighttime. They'd also have a blue jacket. I'm not wearing it today because it's far too hot. So this is kind of the type of conditions they'd be fighting in: dense, heavy bush, big trees, whatnot. The Snider will do more shooting out the back of the farm, but to operate, half cock, open, insert a single cartridge, close, full cock, fire. Lots of smoke, lots of noise. I can't even see where I hit it. To cycle, half cock, open the trap door. That sometimes happens, the the extractor wears out. And then revolve. I make the brass out of the 24 gauge shot shells, and it keeps it cost effective. Now we won't do too much shooting here in the bush, so we will pack up and we will head out to the back of the farm. So I don't know how the audio is going to be, but give it a go. So they come out to the back of the farm, got a steel plate the rifling on this gun's quite worn out, so I doubt I'll be able to hit anything. But we'll just have a go. Throw a dustbin around at it. What is the history of the Snider Enfield in New Zealand?
In New Zealand, up until the end of 1872, i.e. the end of the hunt for Te Kooti, the only Sniders that were in the country, or known to be in the country, unfortunately records disappeared, were full-length barrel three-banders, and they were issued to redoubt guards, especially in the redoubts guarding the Napier Taupo Highway, where it was feared that Te Kooti would make a breakthrough from the Uraweras and loop around the bottom of Lake Taupo and head back up into the King Country, though his welcome there was uncertain. And redoubts in Whanganui and possibly Taranaki as well. Apart from that, no others that we know of were actually in service before 1872.
Okay, so the artillery carbine, which the Constabulary were issued with, what's their background, what's their story?
Most of them were conversions from Enfields because they were still doing that at that point, though some of them may have been purpose-made. We got a massive amount from Charles Bonehill's, dated 1880, and there's a lot of them around. The earliest one I have is a tower lock marked 1873, so it just misses out. Apart from that, there are hay pattern ones are known to exist around the country. I've got one of those. But they stayed until we got Martini Enfields, and then Lee Medfords, and then Lee Enfields.
Mm-hmm.
So in the late 1880s into the 1890s.
So all of these Sniders, where did they go? Were they surplused out? Did settlers have them?
A lot was surplused out. The carbines in particular, either the cavalry, the engineers, or the artillery carbines, were really popular for pig hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could get in close in the bush, the noise didn't roger your dog's ears, and a 5.77 slug stops a pig pretty damned well.
I've actually seen a cut down Snider Enfield. It's just the action and it's just the receiver now, but it was chopped down just before the sights start as a pig pistol.
Wouldn't
That'd be
surprise
an
me.
interesting guy.
That's why Kynoch made lots and lots and lots of Snider ammunition from the 30s. I believe they stopped in the 50s, but I don't know that. Don't know that. And it was shipped out here. It was for civilian use. It wasn't for military use. It was for civilians.
Okay.
So a lot of them just got sold out of service and shot. I don't know how many deer and pigs and goats in New Zealand. Yeah.
So the Snider Enfield, when you see it used in New Zealand movies, for example, the River Queen, Utu, what else is there? That's about it, really. Is that period correct, or would they?
That is anachronistic. That is out of time. They shouldn't be using Sniders.
So would they be using Terrys or
Terrys.
P53s?
Terrys, any form of muzzle loader. If you're really lucky, a monkey tail.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Takuti had a Spencer.
Spencer repeating carbine.
A Spencer repeater.
Okay.
He, on his last flight, after his last camp was attacked, he lost the ammunition for it, so he only had what was in the magazine.
Which is 7 rounds of 50
seven rounds of 50-60 rimfire. Or 56-50 rimfire.
Okay.
That was given to him as a gift by a whaling captain, and it was worth hundreds of dollars at the time. So it was a hell of a gift. Whether that was given voluntarily or voluntold, I don't know. I don't know the history of it that much.
Okay. So with the whole use of the Snider Enfield with the AC, it's more historically accurate to say they'd be using P53 carbines.
P53 is the full-length 3-band rifle.
Yeah.
P56 or 58 is the 2-bander. The carbines are a P61.
Ah, okay, did not know that.
Yes. They started off long and they shortened them as the dates went on.
So, so if you're the AC running around chasing outlaws, bush rangers, and worrying chiefs, you'd more than likely actually have a muzzle loader than you would a breech loading carbine.
AC, the official equipment list says breech loading carbine.
That's carbine of any description?
It just says breech loading carbine. So most of them had Terrys. Almost all of them had Terrys. The kupapa were issued with the muzzle loaders, the P61s. Some of them got Terrys. And again, private purchase in the AC was fully permissible, so they would have had Prince's carbines. Maybe some greens, don't know. Whatever they could buy privately.
Were they allowed repeaters like a Henry?
Yes, if you could get it.
Okay.
Good luck getting one of those in New Zealand before the mid-1870s. If they were still fresh off the American Civil War and they were breech loaders, they weren't coming over here in any great quantities at all. Okay. They would get rid of their muzzle loaders and older stuff, but not their breech loaders. They still wanted them.
Okay. So
what caliber was the Terry?
Officially, it's listed as it's actually a 5.68. So it uses a Pritchett round. And you can alter an Enfield cartridge to turn it into a Terry cartridge. There's a video on it on YouTube.
Because they self-combust on the cap going off with the paper.
Mm.
So what was a more reliable weapon, the Terry or the Snider?
Snider, 100%. Guaranteed.
And is that with the foil cartridges or is that with the drawn brass?
Even with the foil cartridges. They were less affected by damp and they were fully self-contained. Terry's an external cap, I remember. You've still got to put a percussion cap on. Snider was way more reliable, way more preferred.
Okay.
Paper cartridges just get damp in the New Zealand bush. Even when they're in a leather cartridge box, they still get damp.
So where did all the Terrys go?
The Terrys, a large quantity of them got sold off to civilian use and just got used till they died.
Mm-hmm.
You hear stories of a cache of Terrys stashed in various places around the country. I'll believe that when I see it. But a large number got sent back to the UK at the start of World War I as a patriotic gesture for the UK to melt them down and make modern rifles, which was completely pointless because the steel was shite. You could not turn that into a 303. Not going to happen. That was the New Zealand government basically dumped them.
Were they taking up space in the armories? They just like, this is a good way to get rid of them?
This is a good way to get rid of them.
Also, I'd imagine Terry ammunition being a paper, self-combustible cartridge, more of a pain to make, transport, and keep safe and store, whereas a self-contained brass cartridge case can sit on the shelf for 20 years and not go bad.
Yep.
And also just making them in the first place.
Making them is not that difficult once you're up to it. It doesn't require the machining processes and the machinery that a Snider cartridge does. It's easy to make. All you have to have is a pill, some paper, powder,
child
and
labour.
a wand. Yeah.
So then it's the same pill as the like a Pritchard smoothbore thing for a Snider.
Yep.
Same thing.
Well, the Snider uses...
Can you use the 577?
Yeah, it'll fit a 577.
Well, that's the same as the Snider, so they're just reusing the old muzzle loader into the breech loader paper and then into the brass breech loader.
The guys who are making good Snider rounds now are using a 600 solid for a Snider.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the extremes. Brass
but the Terry uses the 577.
568 or 550, yeah.
568.
Yeah.
And how many grains of powder?
The ones I have seen, the guy says experiment, but he gives you two different paper sizes for a rifle cartridge as opposed to a carbine cartridge. And that makes 100% sense to me.
Yep.
I always put less powder in a carbine than a rifle.
I do 70 grains in my Snider and it seems to work quite nicely. Whereas with the Terry and its lockup system, it only has a single locking lug, I believe.
There's two locking lugs. They're at the rear of the bolt.
Okay. Well, still, it's quite a... When you look at it, she looks like quite a dainty, delicate looking action.
It kind of is, but once it locks, it's pretty solid.
Would you consider it Britain's first bolt-action service rifle?
Yes.
Predating the Lee Metfords and such?
Oh, easily.
Okay.
1850s, it got issued to Yeomanry Cavalry Unit. That was the only British outfit that it got issued to.
And I suppose it being but still a single shot, but being a breech loader, you could load on the horse while you're running around instead of having to mess around with a ramrod.
Yep.
On the back of a horse.
Yep.
Okay.
It wouldn't convert into a metallic cartridge though.
No.
The loading gate through the side is, The Monkey Tail, yes, they made metallic cartridges in both rimfire and centerfire for those. One day I'm going to get to hold one of those in my hands, and that's going to be a good day.
A metallic cartridge or the centerfire Terry?
Because they did them in rimfire and center. I'd just like to hold one and see how the action works.
Yeah. I've never seen one. I've seen one on Forgotten Weapons, but
same. Yeah. That's what I've seen.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that.
No worries.
Fire one more round. This one's special. Why is it special? It's special because it is an original paper mache coated rolled foil brass case. I have shot other ones of these. Hello! This is probably a really, really bad idea. 1880 Snider Enfield, made by Bonehill, CG Bonehill of Birmingham, and it was made for the New Zealand Constabulary Force. I'm going to shoot an old air compressor tank that's full of water using original ammunition. Now the primers are quite old, so it might not go bang the first click, but a few clicks, maybe revolving the cartridge should work. Was not expecting that. Okay, I was really not expecting them to go bang on the first pull. Bloody hellfire. Oh, they'll still be inside! Alright. Might have to chop it open. Yeah, they're still inside. But I haven't shot one of these in years. These are bloody hard to find. They're like $25, $30 a piece. Let's see if 100 and something years old still goes pop. Walloped it on the last go. It just feels like it's made of cardboard. It is made of metal. Snider Enfield MK3 CG Bonehill of Birmingham for the AC. Good gun, fun gun, noisy gun, expensive gun, smelly gun. But worth it. Absolutely worth it. Hello from the editing room. Just wanted to say thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. A few sources I used for making this. New Zealand Army by New Zealand Army. The Snider, the Martini Henry, and Boxer Ammunition by VD Maiden Die and C.O. Brown. Military reloading rifles, being very handy. And the absolute Bible for this entire thing. The Colonial New Zealand Wars by Tim Ryan and Bill Farnham. An illustrated history with colour plates. This has been absolutely indispensable. I would like to say a huge thank you to Dave, the chap who gave us the history talk about the Snider and what was going on at the time. And a massive, massive, massive thank you to my little brother and my little sister for helping me. My brother was the outlaw and my sister was on the camera. Guys, thank you so much. You did so well. Yeah, thanks. Oh well, this will be, I think I've got one more video coming sometime soonish. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.